What's up guys, Jez here from Whiskefy and welcome to another episode of WhiskefyTV. I'm pumped because it is episode 138. Let's get this cracking because who doesn't want to sit there, stand there, do whatever you're doing right now and watch me drink whiskey. So, y'all probably wondering what I'm drinking tonight. Or whenever you're watching it. I have a bottle of the glorious Knob Creek Rye. You guys are probably wondering, it's like, why are you doing this now? We are August. Had to think about that. Well, I don't have an answer, but we love it. So let's get this sucker popped. Really hope that sounded good. Poured. And we'll start going into everything. Kind of get this leveled out. I bumped it, so we spilled a little. But we love it. So, put that on there. Let's crack into it. So, as I said, Knob Creek Rye. Now, 100 proof, 50%. New Child American Oak. Undisclosed mash bill. Why is it an undisclosed mash bill? Well, for some reason B want to keep it a secret. I'm like, keep your secrets. It is not age stated, but they claim to be patiently aged, whatever that means. But I do know that Beam is knocking out single barrels at about 5 years old. I know I was able to try one over at the kitchen at the Claremont facility, and yeah, their like pick was like 5 years old, and that's pretty much a really good point for ryes as well, as we said with the fiends as well. It's just like 5 years old is like that sweet spot. So obviously Beam know more than what I do about ryes, and they do what they do. So patiently aged, can't go wrong. Now it costs about 90 bucks Aussie, US about 38, just off Drizzly. So let's kind of crack into the notes, info, and information. I'll tell you guys all about it. So if you aren't familiar, Knob Creek Rye was officially launched in 2012 as part of the Jim Beam small batch collection. This was meant to assist, basically its brother, weird step cousin, we'll say weird step cousin, the Knob Creek Bourbon. Now, its release at the time, it was the only Knob Creek that was actually released without an age statement, which was very interesting because I actually have a... Oh, this was after they dropped the age statement. I've got an older bottling of Knob Creek here without an age statement on it, weirdly enough. So yeah, there we go. That was obviously, for whatever reason, they couldn't meet demand of the 9-year-old stuff because it was originally 9-year, dropped it, made it like small batch, whatever, kept it as close as they could, and then brought back on the 9-year labeling a few years ago now. But yes, so enough supply, demand. Now, for the time it was received really well by the market and being awarded double golds and the best rye, the best rye whiskey at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition in 2012. As you guys know, this is a huge award. It's between that and the one in New York as well, where everyone just kind of goes nuts for. They're the two big ones that I'm aware of. Now, the use of the name Knob Creek came from a creek that ran through the family home of Abraham Lincoln. In case you guys didn't know, you were like, why do they call it Knob Creek? Well, you know, that's why. That's why. But yeah, so that's about that. I'm pretty happy with that. 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes. Crazy. We got through all that. I love it. Now, let's crack into this. I love the colour. I do love myself a rye. It's a shame Jacob couldn't be here for this. So he's probably going to be pissed. So, for the nose on this one, as I kind of gave it a minute to kind of open up, it's like just nosing it, you can kind of tell that there's a lot more corn in there than what there should be. So, it gives me a good idea that they're running a high corn kind of mash bill there. Like minimum 51% rye, kind of get it over the line, stick your green labels on it, get it going. But outside of that, I'm probably like a menthol. Yeah, that maple. I don't know why I go maple, but like maple pops. There's definitely some, like, there's plenty of sweetness there. It's not, you kind of know, it's definitely one of those Kentucky ryes. If you're an avid rye drinker, you know the difference between like your MGP rye or your Indiana ryes. You'll throw MGP out there, your Kentucky ryes. But you always just find those Kentucky ryes to be a lot sweeter. There's another note I'm not getting there. Just like a big maple bomb, which is interesting for a rye. But what have I got? No, I don't know. I've got green apple written down there, but now I put it in this glass because I was able to do my tasting notes on a mini Glen. I drop it into a bigger glass, and I'm not really getting that green apple that I got earlier. Oh well, we'll press on. So I want to say mid to thick viscosity. I was working with smaller pours earlier, so I didn't go as hard. But yeah, I wrote down medium, kind of got like medium to thick. There's a good spice coating, like living at that 100 proof point, and that rye and like level of sweetness. It's just got like a good coverage of it. Yum. Now, just good mouth coating. Let me kind of go back in and see if I can get something on the Kentucky Chew. Oh, there we go. So that green apple kind of just starts to come through now. So as you kind of you chew that whiskey and you get a little bit of saliva going in there to really open it up a little bit more. And you got that green apple to be able to shine through. Delicious. Now, for the finish. All right, so we lose a lot of that sweetness just on the finish there. I don't have any of that maple show up, which is interesting, but I do have some good coverage of like some, like that green apple. There's a lot of oak there. It's a long finish, and like a hint of caramel there, because like obviously sweetness. With like a hint though, it's just like, oh, it's a green apple, it's an oak. A lot of that baking spice as well. It kind of just gives it a good coverage, making it like an overall enjoyable drop, which is why I guess Knob Creek's banging. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. Like, you guys know what's up about it. So hey, I'm not here to tell you. Oh, Epstein's last spill as well. I did spill a little bit. We're already at 0, so I don't know if I should carry that across. I'll let you guys decide. Let me know in the comments. But let us get into the buy, bar, or pass on this sucker. Now, start straight from the top. I want to say it's super punchy. Now, what I mean by that is not like Chris Brown and Rihanna punchy. I mean more just a great level of spice there. More than what I was expecting for being like such a sweeter rye, a higher corn content rye, allegedly. But yeah, so super punchy, a lot more. Now, leading on from that, it does run a higher corn mash bill, so we are getting all those sweet notes, and just keeping it super sweet makes it overall a lot more enjoyable. Like especially for me, because like I'm here for sweets. Sweets are good. Not for my waistline, but they are still good all the same. Now, on the third one, this is kind of like a personal preference, but it does, I feel like it sips below 100 proof. Like I could sit here, I could probably make a cracking cocktail out of this, especially the $90 mark. Like I wouldn't even sweat it, and I just sip it because it's like, it's got enough spice there to keep you interested, but it's obviously not just going to turn you away because you're like, yeah, rye. But obviously, I don't feel like that hits it 100 proof. Maybe it's covered up by that spice. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But hey, I like it. I dig it. So yeah, obviously that is leaving down the buy track. I think this is a great pickup for 90 bucks. I've even seen it cheaper, but even if you touch the $40 mark in the US, like banging. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I don't even know what we're calling it. Hopefully this is out by Wednesday. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Excuse me, I burped, that's fine. Yeah, thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy lives to check this content out, because I do appreciate every single one of you, especially like friends, family that just watch it on the regular and then remind me about it, how much they love watching. So thank you, love you, enjoy your beautiful weeks, because you know, who doesn't love work, right? Pays for the whiskey. Anyway, love you, stay thirsty. I'm Jez, peace.